Well, good morning. It's actually sunny in Edinburgh today, although it's cold, and we're going to take the Zoomer for a short run just to see how it performs now that the stock exhaust is back on. We also have the new windshield, and just to see if we're losing anything now the Leo Vince exhaust is gone. So we're just going to go for a short run around the block, then I'm planning to stop at a park, maybe take some photos and things. So here we go. Right, so we're off for the first test ride since we carried out some fairly major changes in taking off the Leo Vince exhaust, which, as you will know, does not currently pass, or doesn't according to my MOT people anyway, pass current doesn't, it's too noisy for it to pass current legislation. I've just noticed that screen's a bit squint there actually. I have to adjust that slightly when I get back. That's alright. It's always things you don't notice until you're actually out on the bike. So we're really just looking to see how the acceleration is. I mean, top speed I get, with my weight on it and all the equipment and stuff, about 30, 35 anyway. 30, I think 37 is the most I've got at the moment with this setup, which is fine because, you know, in Edinburgh the restrictions are, it's, what do you call it, 20 mile an hour restrictions in Edinburgh, so there we go, we're up to, there you go, straight up to 30, 28 already, 29. So it doesn't look like we're losing up to 30. So we're not losing, well, straight away we're into 33. This is alright. This is what I hope to see. So, really that answers one question. Putting the stock exhaust on isn't affecting the acceleration speed, or doesn't appear to at first glance anyway. Just keeping an eye on the engine temperature light, make sure we don't get anything like overheating or anything like that. I mean, we shouldn't, but you know, we are combining an increased fuel rate through the iMap with a stock exhaust. Now the interesting thing, of course, is that the Leo Vince exhaust was put on by the previous owner. Now the previous owner had the Polini CDI fitted to it, and you know, the very temperamental Polini CDI that you can't get anymore. Now the Polini CDI is a much more basic system than the iMap is. The iMap allows you to put fuel in at levels of your own choosing by percentages. I tell you, the bike's a lot quieter as well, which is quite nice. So what the Polini did was basically just, here we've got a big lorry parked here facing the wrong way, was basically just throw fuel into the engine as fast as it could. There wasn't a lot of there wasn't a lot of refinement about it. So maybe that's why an aftermarket exhaust was needed, or possibly the previous owner just wanted an aftermarket exhaust, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, you've got a 50cc scooter here. It's not going to do a huge amount. But certainly, I'm quite happy so far with the acceleration. And bear in mind, you've got my weight on it. I mean, I'm about, what, 16 stone. I've kept the usual chains and things I would carry if I was going up to work. They're in the seat space, so I'm not, you know, reduced the weight at all. My friend from Fife actually commented that maybe the exhaust would be heavier. That's an interesting one. I wish I'd actually weighed the stock exhaust and compared it to the Leo Vince. I mean, the Leo Vince is, I suppose it's aluminium, so it's going to be lighter, but then it's bigger, so I don't know. I wouldn't think there's a lot in it. Obviously we've got the screen now as well. I don't know if that's going to help this is a terrible bit of road. This is part of the tram works they're building down here. And I mean, the road is just littered with potholes and mess. So you've got to take this a bit calmly. Down here it's got dust and grime all over it. Stones. No problem if you're in a car, but not so much fun if you're on two wheels. So, another bump. So yeah, would the stock exhaust we'd be adding weight to the bike? Possibly, but probably not a lot. So as I've always said, I mean, to me, the Zoomer, top speed is not the most important thing in the Zoomer. To me, it's takeoff acceleration. You have to get away from the lights with reasonable speed. There's nothing worse than crawling up to 20 miles an hour with a queue of traffic behind you. You want to get away and get some space. And that's absolutely what the iMap has done, and it's taken away the lean running of the bike at low speeds and allows you to get some speed up and allows you to accelerate much faster. And to me, that just transforms the bike. Now I know a lot of people on these groups, all they're interested in is top speed, banging out top speed, but if it's a town run around, you know, that's not hugely important to me. You know, if I start going down 40 miles an hour on the roads of Edinburgh, I'm soon going to get stopped by somebody in a flashing patrol car. And also, of course, I ride this bike on a moped licence in the UK, because when I passed my driving test many years ago, what about 20, 30 years ago now? 30 years ago. If you passed your car driving test, go in here and turn round, you automatically, whoa, he's going out, you automatically got moped entitlement, which you don't get anymore. So it means I can ride this bike around Edinburgh. I don't have to have a bike licence. I don't have to sit these absolute rip-off things we have in this country called CBTs, which is the basic day's training. And the basic day's training is fine, but you have to, if you don't sit your bike licence, you have to resit it every 2 years. Now, considering I've had a full car licence for 30 years, and I've been riding bikes like 125s and things for about, I don't know, 10 years now, 15 years, why on earth have I got to sit a basic day's training every 2 years when all I want to do is ride a 125? That is an absolute con. And I just got to the point where I point blank refuse to do it. Cut through here. So yeah. So that's why I'm quite happy with a little 50 at the moment. If they change the law and you wanted to do one CBT, damn right, I'd buy a 125 tomorrow. But in the meantime, we ain't doing that. There's a couple of undesirables crossing there. Oh, a busy day shoplifting. So yeah. So we're just going to head along Great Junction Street now in Leith. And we're going to turn right down back to Leith Links. And I'm planning to stop and take some photos of the bike. There's a long wall runs along a local park, and somebody's actually, it's quite graffitied, but some of the graffiti is quite bright and colourful and quite well done, so I thought I'd take some shots of the Zoomer next to the graffiti wall and just and use it possibly as a new opening for my videos, something like that. But the bike's certainly a lot quieter, I'll say that for it. You can't really argue. The Leo Vince exhaust did make a hell of a racket, and to be honest, I'm not a fan of mousy exhaust. It wouldn't be something I would choose to have. I think it may look fine on some, you know, 1000cc sports bike, but frankly on a 50cc going along with an exhaust roaring away, it looks a bit silly. So I'm quite happy now. If this is accelerating as it seems to be, and there's no obvious problems that I can feel in the running, then that's great. We shall keep the stock exhaust on. That means I don't have to faff about changing exhaust for the next MOT. And, you know, obviously I'll trial it a wee while, but if everything's going good, I can maybe sell on the Leo Vince exhaust and at least make the money back that I've spent on the stock exhaust, which was, as I said before, 100 quid. But yeah. Nice morning in Edinburgh. We're still under lockdown here. I'm still furloughed off work. In fact, my work is coming to an end. The place I work in is closing for redevelopment, so I'm under threat of redundancy at the moment. But, you know, I've been there a very long time, so I should get a decent payoff. And at the end of the day, I think Edinburgh's a huge tourist city. Once things get back to normal, Edinburgh will very quickly pick up from where we are at the moment, so I'm not overly concerned at the moment. There's a lot of people in a lot worse positions than me, and you know, they have my sympathy. So, toddle along here. So this is Great Junction Street, one of the main streets at the bottom of Leith. Actually quite quiet traffic wise, usually it's bedlam along here, but it's just the quickest way back to the park where we're going to take some photos. Yeah, all in all, delighted. It would have been a bit annoying if I spent £100 on exhaust and could only actually put it on when an MOT was due. But as it is, that's going to stay on. You see we're accelerating fast. And we're getting up to mid-30s very easily along that road we did earlier. And that's good enough for me. No major new projects coming up with the Zoomer in the near future. I'm still looking at swapping out the indicator lights, get rid of the blocky ones, put in little round ones. But that's not an urgent job or anything at all. We're going to turn around here, head along Leith Links, right along round to the corner, and we're going to pull up and I'll just wheel the bike into the park. It's only a few hundred feet along from where the road is, and we'll take some photographs. So yeah, as always guys, thanks for coming along. Only thing I can think to do is possibly adjust that screen a bit. It's a bit further into on the right hand side than it should be. So we're gonna see a bead. You can see actually the bars are quite a bit distant, so we'll sort that out. That's just a quick job with an Allen key. And then I'll get home and get this video uploaded. And then when I do get back to work, or when the weather improves, I mean it's lovely today. This is, what are we now, 26th of February I think it is today. So spring is definitely in the air, which is lovely. So you're picking up speed really quickly there. Then you go up to 30. Now that's just from turning that 31. 33, we're flying along. So there's definitely no effect on the acceleration at all with the stock exhaust using the iMap. So to me that's another benefit of the iMap. You don't have to buy an expensive exhaust system to get benefits out of it. Which I think you had to do with the Polini, just for the way that the Polini CDI just threw fuel at the engine regardless. Now you see we're heading over to where those new flats are being built over there. And there's a big long graffitied wall there. Just past those, which I'm going to take some nice pictures of. This is Leith Links. If any of you have not been on my videos before, this is the park just round the corner from me, a lovely park. I think they claim it's where golf was first invented or something. There's a very, very old golf club commemorated here from years ago. They just put a new statue up. I think it's, or is it where the rules of golf were invented or something in Leith Links. There is a statue being put up of a golfer in, it looks like sort of Georgian costume with a club. I'm not a golfer, so I'm afraid I couldn't advise. But yeah, this is where we're going. Just go along to the end here. And we're going to pull in and park up. So thanks guys for coming along on this test run. I'm delighted with the way it's worked out. It's exactly what I was hoping for. I thought we might get engine bogging and dying and that sort of thing with the exhaust. Nothing like that at all. It's running as it was before with the Leo Vince. So I've saved myself some bother at the next MOT. And I'll put some of the photos up after this video. And thanks again. If you can like and subscribe, it's always much appreciated. I'm just going to pull in here. And that's where we're heading. Okay, thanks a lot guys. Crocus is out, spring is coming. Fantastic. All the best now.